Welcome to Fun Facts Daily, your source for just the good stuff. Monday through Friday, we're bringing fun facts and news you can use, all carefully curated to uplift and inform. So give yourself a break, relax, and learn something awesome in just a few minutes every day. Hi everyone, I'm Kyle Wood, and today we're going to be learning all about snow. But before we get into the facts, let's warm up our brains with a little challenge to see if you can tell fact from fiction. Consider this. We've all heard the old saying that no two snowflakes are alike, but is that scientifically accurate? With an estimated 1 septillion snowflakes falling from the sky every single year, it just seems hard to imagine that nature really never repeats itself. Is it possible that in the history of the world, two snowflakes have actually never really been identical? Or does this math just not add up? What do you think? We'll find out at the end of the episode. Now for your word of the day. Today's word is chionophile. That's chionophile. A chionophile is defined as any organism that thrives in cold winter conditions, or more commonly in conversation, a person who absolutely loves snow and cold weather. If you're the type of person who eagerly checks the weather forecast hoping for a blizzard, or if you feel happiest when you're bundled up in a parka sipping cocoa, you're likely a chionophile. In biology, this term can also refer to animals and plants that have specific adaptations allowing them to flourish in snowy regions, like the snowshoe hare or the polar bear. The word comes from Greek roots. It's a combination of two terms. The Greek noun chion, chion, would translate simply to snow, and the suffix phile, phile, means a lover or enthusiast for something. While many people suffer from the winter blues, chionophiles are chemically and psychologically boosted by the arrival of winter, finding comfort and joy in the quiet beauty of a snowy landscape. Time for your daily high five, our top 5 fun facts about snow. Number 1. Despite looking like a solid frozen block, fresh snow is actually composed mostly of just air. When a fresh blanket of powdery snow falls, it's composed of approximately 90 to 95% trapped air. It's only about 5 to 10% actual ice water content. Because the ice crystals that make up snowflakes are star-shaped and have many branches, they don't stack perfectly on top of one another. This creates tiny pockets of space between them. This structure is what makes fresh snow feel light and fluffy when you pick it up or shovel it off your driveway. Over time, as the snow settles and melts slightly, those air pockets collapse, making the snow more dense and heavier to move. Because of this high volume of trapped air, snow acts as an incredible insulator that can actually keep things warm. Just like the down feathers in a winter jacket can trap your body heat, the air pockets in the snow prevent heat from escaping the ground. This is why many small animals will burrow deep into the snow to survive the winter, and why people in the Arctic historically built igloos to stay warm in freezing temperatures. Inside the Subnivan Zone, which is the area between the ground and the snowpack, the temperature can remain around 32 degrees Fahrenheit, even if the air outside is well below zero. Number 2. The largest snowflake ever reported was described as being larger than a dinner plate. During a heavy snowstorm in January of 1887 at Fort Keogh, Montana, several witnesses reported seeing massive snowflakes falling from the sky, measuring around 15 inches wide and 8 inches thick. A rancher named Matt Coleman described them as being, quote, larger than milk pans, end quote. And the event has gone down in history as a legendary meteorological anomaly. While we can't preserve a snowflake from 1887 to verify it today, meteorologists believe the phenomenon is scientifically possible under very specific atmospheric conditions. Usually, snowflakes are separate crystals, but when the air is very calm and retains high moisture near the freezing point, flakes can clump together on their way down. This creates what is known as an aggregate snowflake, where hundreds of crystals interlock to create a giant structure. While most aggregates break up in the wind before they land, the conditions in Montana that day were likely perfectly still, allowing these giant, plate-sized flakes to float gently down to the earth, still intact. Number 3. In high-altitude mountain ranges, you can find watermelon snow that's pink and smells like fruit. If you're hiking in the Sierra Nevada mountains or the Alps during the summer melt, you might encounter patches of snow that are distinctly pink or reddish in color. This isn't due to food coloring or chemicals, but a specific type of microscopic algae called Chlamydomonas nivalis that thrives in freezing water. This algae contains a bright red carotenoid pigment similar to what's found in carrots, which protects the algae from intense ultraviolet radiation from the sun at high altitudes. The fascinating side effect of that biological sunscreen is that it gives the snow a very faint, sweet aroma that hikers often compare to watermelon. While it might smell delicious and look like a snow cone, it's generally advised you don't eat it, as the algae can cause digestive issues for humans. The pink color also has environmental impacts because the darker color absorbs more heat than white snow. This absorption causes the surrounding snow to melt faster, creating water that allows the algae to bloom and spread even further across the glacier. Number 4. It's possible to have a thunderstorm and a snowstorm at the exact same time in a relatively rare event called thundersnow. Most people associate thunder and lightning with hot, humid summer afternoons, but the physics required for a storm can happen in the winter as well. For thunder to occur, you need unstable air where warm air rises rapidly upwards, creating convection that generates an electrical charge. In the winter, the surface air is usually cold and stable, which makes it very difficult for this upward motion to happen, making thundersnow a very rare treat for weather watchers. When thundersnow does occur, it creates a sensory experience that's totally unique compared to the summer storm. The heavy falling snow acts like an acoustic damper, muffling the sound of the thunder so it doesn't travel nearly as far as it would in the rain. Instead of a sharp, loud crack you can hear for miles, the thunder during a snowstorm sounds like a low, muffled rumble that you can only hear if you're within 2 or 3 miles of the lightning bolt. It creates a surreal and intense atmosphere that some weather enthusiasts love to chase. And our 5th and final fun fact for today. Although we often see winter as a white wonderland, the snow is actually completely colorless. Snow is made of ice crystals, and if you look at a single ice crystal under a microscope, it's transparent and translucent like a piece of glass. But because snow is piled up in a chaotic arrangement, the light that hits it doesn't pass straight through like it does with a window. Instead, the light hits the millions of tiny facets and edges of the ice crystals and gets scattered in every direction. This scattering reflects the full spectrum of visible light back to our eyes without favoring any specific color wavelength. When all the colors of the visible light spectrum, or all the colors in the rainbow, are mixed together and reflected equally, our brain perceives it as the color white. It's essentially a massive optical illusion. If the ice crystals were fused into a solid block without air gaps, the snowbank would look clear like an ice cube. Now for some news you can use. If you live in a snowy area, you know the frustration of shoveling heavy snow only to have it stick stubbornly to the blade of your shovel. A great hack to fix this is to coat your shovel with a non-stick cooking spray or a little bit of vegetable oil before you head outside. The oil creates a hydrophobic layer. Now, hydrophobic means it doesn't really like water, so it's going to repel the water. This hydrophobic layer on the metal or plastic of the shovel prevents the water molecules in the snow from bonding to the surface. This means the snow will slide right off the shovel when you toss it, and that significantly reduces the weight of each load. And while you're preparing your gear, don't forget to protect your eyes as well by wearing polarized sunglasses. Most people only associate sunglasses with the summer, but fresh snow can act like a mirror reflecting almost 80% of UV radiation back up to you. This double dose of UV light coming from the sun above and the snow below can cause painful snow blindness, which is essentially a sunburn on your cornea. So even on a cloudy day, grabbing your sunglasses is one of the best things you can do to protect your eyes while you're out in the snow. Now for the moment you've been waiting for. At the beginning of the episode, I asked if it's true that no two snowflakes are alike. Well, that's a fact. It seems unbelievable, but the math backs it up. A single snowflake contains about a quintillion water molecules. And the number of possible ways those water molecules can arrange themselves in a snowflake is estimated to be 10 to the 158th power. That's a 1 followed by 158 zeros. To put that in perspective, scientists estimate the number of atoms in the entire known universe is roughly 10 to the 80th power. So the number of possible snowflakes is several orders of magnitude larger than the number of atoms in the known universe. With that many possibilities, the probability of finding two exact duplicates is effectively zero. Now, I hope you enjoyed learning a bit about snow with me today, and be sure to tune in every weekday for even more fun facts. Fun Facts Daily is an Airwave Media podcast. It was written, recorded, mixed, and edited by me, Kyle Wood. Thanks for sharing a part of your day with me. Be sure to follow Fun Facts Daily on your favorite podcast app so you can keep the good stuff coming your way every day. And if you like the show, please do me a favor and leave a kind rating, review, or just tell your friends about it.